We're at the launch of the Audi RS Q8, and with us today is the head of Audi India, Balbir Singh Dhillon. Balbir, thank you so much for having us here, and congratulations on the launch.
Thank you very much, and thanks for joining us today.
Always a pleasure, Balbir. Balbir, so first of all, about the car itself, 2.4 crore, the pricing. Obviously, it's at the very, very top end of your portfolio. What are your sort of, I know you're not going to share target numbers or something, but what are you looking at from this particular model and the Q8 also as a whole brand?
So, first of all, I think we are very, very excited that we are able to bring this car to the country. And we have a lot of enthusiastic customers who have bought in the past from us RSQ8 or RS7 or similar models who are now in the phase where they want to upgrade. So also the number of Q8s that we've sold in last few years, we've sold in good numbers, and many of our customers would want to upgrade to this. So I'm again not putting a number right now because it also kind of depends how many production allocation that we are able to get from headquarters. But very excited to get this car at 2.49 crores. What we've thought is that we want each of the car that we sell in India to be unique. And we want to give a lot of options to our customers to pick and choose what they want with the car with on top of standard equipment. So I'm sure our customers will choose between, let's say, 25, 30 lakhs to 50 lakhs options on top of the cars. So by the time the car is on the road, it will still be, let's say, over 3 crores. But it's a good, let's say, value proposition from the point of view that we are able to reach out to a large section of our existing customers. But I think 50% of the sale, I believe, will come from our existing customer, but 50% of the sales will also be conquest sale. So we are looking at attracting both customers who are our own customers, but also who are coming to the brand for the first time.
Okay, so that's interesting, Balbir, because like you said, you're looking at conquest sort of customers as well. Speaking of customers, you had a sort of very bad last year in terms of, let's say, total sales. But I think it started well for you now this year.
So I'll rephrase your question to say that it was a challenging year for us.
Yes.
But that's life.
Right.
Last year we had challenges in the first half of the year that we did not have. There were some supply chain issues that we did not have sufficient cars to sell. But I think that is something history. History is already written now. This year we've started well. We just passed 1.5 months so far, but we're doing well. And I'm sure that on one side we are expecting the industry to grow, but to in the range of about 8 to 10%. And I'm expecting that we will also grow in the similar range, plus minus here and there. So that is what the expectation is, and we are fine.
Okay.
We are on the roll.
So, Balbir, also like looking at the industry, the luxury segment, there's a lot of focus on the top end of the luxury segment. And if you look at across players, the sort of bottom end of the luxury or the entry luxury is maybe underserved. Is that something you want to address, or are you also looking at, the top end only?
So I would say both, but I will answer by splitting it. So like you see, what we're launching today is absolutely at the top end. But these are the cars which are brand shapers. These are the cars which are much more aspirational, but they will be limited on number because there will be limited buyers, there will be limited supply of these cars. When it comes to the bottom end of the pyramid, in the luxury space, this is where we play with our Q3 and A4 as a starting price. But what you have seen is post-pandemic, the prices of the cars have gone up quite a bit. That means there is a huge gap that has got created between luxury and non-luxury space. But what we're trying to do is we are also trying to address that segment through our pre-owned cars business, which is growing even faster than our new car.
Yeah, last year
we did, right? So I can tell you in terms of numbers, whatever we did in terms of numbers in new car sales, almost 75% of that number we've reached in our pre-owned car sales as well. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create that space for the first time luxury buyers through pre-owned cars business. And that is doing exceptionally well. And we're trying to address their segment through. And this work has taken almost 5 years for us to reach where we've reached in terms of starting from 7 showrooms in 2020 to 26 showrooms now. So we are spread almost close to our new car showroom. So I think this is one way. The second is that I think the creativity, or let's say the simplification that we are able to create in terms of financing options Whether, to give you an example, if I'm a salary person, once in a year I get my bonus, but 11 months I get fixed salary. So you're able to get a special scheme where once in a year I pay high balloon EMI and the rest of the year is low. So 7 years of financing options. So financing has become so easy, or leasing, that today we are able to reach out to a wider section of potential buyers who can afford to buy these cars. And last but not the least, the younger population, like 42% of our cars are sold to people who are less than 40 years of the age. So the age is becoming really a positive phenomena for us in India. That is really helping us with the younger generation coming up and buying these cars.
So, Balbir, does that sort of rule out, let's say you spoke of the entry segment being served by the used car market. It's a great strategy. But does it rule out a car like the A3? Because we've been hearing that there is some interest also in that model.
So let me tell you, if you go from A4 to A3, that doesn't mean that car becomes cheaper to make.
Right.
As simple as that. So there is a certain cost which is involved, material cost, manufacturing cost. And you have to keep in mind also, which is, let's say, a little larger topic, but we still are just about 50,000 cars in India in the luxury space out of the 4.2 million cars that got sold. So just 1%. And how many models can you bring in? So there are already a lot of models available in the industry. So I think a minimum threshold volumes are always required for us to decide if we assemble these cars in India. And that is what we continuously keep on doing.
So then my hopes are now pinned on maybe the sportier versions of the A3. Is that a possibility? Because you do have, therefore, the sort of pull factor to pull in a higher ticket price.
Well, we did this already, to be honest. When we launched the Q3, for the first time, we also introduced sports pack version. So today, my 25%, 30% sales comes from the Sportback version. So there is a section of customer who wants a different body style, and this is what we're experimenting with Q3 and doing it successfully.
Great. Okay. Also, Balbir, the RSQ8, you said allocations. You're not putting a number to it, but what are the allocations you're hoping for at least, and what do you think is a realistic figure?
Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Okay. Like we was discussing here and there that globally the car industry is going a bit slow in Europe and here and there. I hope that helps us get more cars. That is my positive side of the story.
Okay.
I'm wishing that I get more cars because the first lot of cars that we got is already got sold off. Okay. So hopefully I'll get the next lot quickly so that we're able to get more cars.
Right. And the last question then is for this year. You said it's a year of stabilization. What are your plans or some key steps that you want to sort of do in this year?
So like I said, the industry growth, we more or less see ourselves to be growing in the same percentage. We are also, there are some more models to come that we shall be launching this year. Of course, I will not be sharing it right now.
Okay.
So we want to keep the excitement on for those models as we move on. So we are anticipating some new models to be launched this year. Also, with a stabilized supply chain, I think in general, we do see a positive pull. And in general, I think industry will grow. The overall economic situation is fine, except for the stock market, which is kind of, let's say, correcting sideways for the last couple of months. But that is how the life is. It continues. But overall, I think it's sentiment-wise, everything is positive. And we are, to be honest, I feel personally to be very lucky to be in India at this point of time where for the next decades or so, or multiple decades, we are going through a positive cycle of growth, and India is shining. It's a shining star today, and we are celebrating that success along with you all, with our customers, and celebrating 100,000 cars, 100,000 dreams, Audi dreams that we are celebrating together from last year onwards.
Right. Thank you so much, Balbir. Looking forward to new products this year, and wish you all the best in this.
Thank you so much. Pleasure, as always.
Thanks, Balbir.